So we do want to create a bit of flow today. In all ways, flow of our breath, flow of the blood through our bodies, the movement that stimulates the areas where the lymph nodes exist in the body. So as just a quick and easy one, I'm sure most of you have come across this information at some point, but we do have a lot of lymph nodes in the neck, a couple behind the ears, some in the armpits, and some in the groin, and a few other places as well. But those are some sort of easy locations to think about. And so we'll do some poses today that get into some of those areas. There'll be things that you recognize because we've done them before. To get started, we're trying to create lots of spaciousness in our body and in our breath. So let's anchor our sitting bones to the ground. Feel your sit bones pointing towards this Mother Earth. When you imagine lengthening your spine, imagine it being so elongated that spaciousness is created in between each and every vertebra. So we're getting tall right to the crown of the head. If that creates any tension, though, in your shoulders, when you lengthen your spine, you want to remind those shoulders to come back, drop down, create spaciousness in the neck as well, where some of those lymph nodes are. And maybe just gently move your head side to side, checking that we haven't added any tension to the neck. Shoulders are still easy. And then take stock of your body as you sit here for a moment. Notice, what are you feeling? Are there parts of you that are feeling spacious today? Are there parts of you that are feeling a little bit more stuck, a little bit more creaky? There's no judgment. Both of those are fine. Just take a moment to notice what it is for you. And let's sit here and breathe as we notice. We're going to connect the two halves of our body by engaging in alternate nostril breathing. So this is the one that uses a little bit of a weird hand shape. We're going to take one hand only. So the other hand is just flopping out, resting on your leg or wherever it needs to be comfortable. Take one of your hands. Get the thumb ready to plug one nostril. Get the ring finger ready to plug the other nostril. So you almost got a hang loose sign going on here. If that doesn't work for you for any reason, totally fine to do it a different way. We're just plugging one nostril and then opening it and plugging the other nostril. Do that whatever way that works. We're going to add breath to that. So let out all your air. And plug one nostril with one thumb. And breathe in through the open nostril for a slow count of 8. Pause when you're full of air and change sides. So now it's the ring finger plugging the opposite nostril, and we'll empty through the open nostril for a slow count of 8. Pause when you're empty and fill up the same side. So we haven't changed nostrils this time. Filling up again. And we'll go at our own pace now. Pause on each end. So pause when you're full of air, pause when you're empty of air. But only change sides, change nostrils when you're full of air. Continue that way for another minute or so. If it's confusing, simply breathing is also fantastic here. And finish up whatever breath you're currently breathing. Make sure you've let out all your air. So the opportunity to really use our breath out to do the exchange of toxins between oxygen, carbon dioxide. And if you need to, grab a tissue. Sometimes that brings up a few things that need to be cleared out. And of course, sips of water anytime through the class. So a reminder that that exercise, the alternate nostril exercise, is meant to even up the two halves. It brings the energy up and down through the two halves of the body, and is a wonderful one once you get in the practice of it, where it becomes less, you don't have to focus on it so much and becomes a little more natural. It can be a wonderful one before you go to bed, or if you're having trouble sleeping, a relaxation type of breath exercise. So focusing on creating lots of spaciousness through our neck area for starters. We'll do our opening sequence with that in mind. So take the thumb of one hand to the palm of the other. Inhale as you raise your arms up, and picture the spaciousness we're creating through the neck and into the armpits. Breathing in through the nose and all the way out through the mouth. Two breaths here. Hands together, same thing. We've got lots of openness, neck, armpits, across the chest as well. Bring the hands up higher towards the sky, and choose if you'd like the hands to go behind the neck or in front of the neck. Either way, still creating spaciousness. Full extension, hands skyward, breathing in. And slow, mindful hands towards your heart, breathing out. And stay with it. Stay mindful for this breath at the heart. Lengthen the arms again and move to our neck poses. We're really going to focus on the neck today with lots of the lymph nodes being located there. If you prefer to do this standing or sitting on a chair, that's great. All of these can be done in the low body can be in any position. Let's lift one ear towards the sky. And picture, you've all experienced having swollen lymph nodes, maybe when you've been sick or fighting off a cold. And so picture the sides of the neck area as you lift one ear and really use the breath to get expansive through the neck. Two big breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. When you're ready, we'll do the other side. Same thing, we're letting the head hang there. So noticing what stretch is happening just by gently dangling the neck in this position. But also breathing into where we think those lymph nodes are located, kind of the side of the neck. Two big breaths. We'll do each side again, just the exact same way. Lifting the other ear. Two big breaths in through the nose, all the way out through the mouth. Shoulders are down, jaw is relaxed. And to the other side. Two breaths. Come back to center, and we'll do our side to side movements with our head. So all of these movements, especially when we're engaging in any kind of a twisting motion, do help to move lymph through the lymphatic system, help the lymph nodes to act as the filter that they are meant to be. Let's turn our heads, look at the side wall, keep the back of the neck nice and long. And again, be purposeful about breathing into both sides of the neck here. Two breaths. And slowly, mindfully, over to the other side. Two breaths here. Let's do each side again. Breathing into the sides of the neck, feeling the length through the back of the neck. And the second side. Beautiful. Come back to center. If the legs are getting a little stuck in one position, feel free to shift your sitting or standing position. And then let's take the chin towards the chest and hang the head here. So the back of the neck is getting a beautiful stretch for 3 breaths. And keep your awareness at the lymph node area, the sides of the neck, maybe even behind the ears, as you walk your eyes slowly across the floor, slowly up the opposite wall, and across the ceiling or the sky, just as far as your eyes and your neck want to take you. And let's open the mouth so that the jaw is released. Walk the eyes back. Still focused on the neck area as you tilt your chin close to your chest again for 2 more breaths. Instead of floating your head forward as we normally would, today I invite you to roll your head towards the side so that your chin and your eyes are looking down towards one armpit. We did this last week. Take a couple of breaths here. We've done kind of like a neck roll, chin and eyes looking toward one armpit. Let's breathe into the neck. And continue to hold there, but we'll add an option now, an addition, if you wish. Take the hand that's connected to the armpit you're looking at and lay it on top of your head, just for a little extra weight. So there's no pulling, but you have the extra weight of the hand on top of the head. 2 breaths, looking here, noticing what your neck feels in this pose. Then letting go of the hand and rolling the neck over to the other side. So rolling around the front until your eyes are looking at your opposite armpit now. Both chin and eyes pointed toward that armpit. 2 breaths before we use the hand. Then taking the hand that's attached to the armpit you're looking at, lay it on top of your head, and 2 more breaths. What do you feel in your body? Remove the hand, roll the head back to center, and then just float forward. Well done. So again, do anything you need to be comfortable with your lower half of your body. If you're standing, you're going to dangle one arm beside you. If you're seated, you're going to rest one arm across your lap. All together, we're all bringing the other arm up towards the ear. And here's an opportunity to get into the armpit, and we're going to use the other hand to help out. So first, we're breathing in as we reach towards the sky, getting really long through the side body, all the way up through the fingertips. Couple of breaths, just getting long, getting spacious through our rib cage. We're going to use the other hand to really massage the area. And the lymph nodes like this. Lymph nodes love massage. It's one of the ways, movement or massage are some of the ways that we can use to move lymph through the lymphatic system. So I encourage you to use your free hand and give yourself a massage. Find the armpit. What can you press in there that feels good? Even it down into the arm a little bit, across the chest, into some of the breast tissue perhaps. And then let's add a little bit more breath and a little more movement. So we've reached up. See how it feels now to reach over. And again, find any additional massage that the body's calling for. Or maybe you've had enough massage and just want to rest that hand. And a focused breath into this whole armpit area. Good, bring it back to center. Bring the arm down and let's change sides. Take the other arm up. Breathe in as we reach skyward. Get spacious here for one breath. Feel the expansion through the ribs and through the side body. And then as you continue to breathe and extend, see if the other hand can help out. Help move some lymph through the lymphatic system. Self-massage. Breathing at the same time. And let's take it a little more over. How does that feel in your body today? Do one more focused breath here. Excellent. Come back to center. Beautiful. Let's take one arm out in front, the other arm off to the side. We've created a right angle with our arms, and we have the opportunity to remember spaciousness through the neck. So if your shoulders have creeped up to your ears, drop them way down and take a moment to focus on your shoulder blades. And we're going to do a lot of focus on the shoulder blades today. So we've dropped the shoulders down. We want to feel broad across the chest and broad across the shoulder blades. We want to keep that spaciousness as we turn the head, looking past the side fingers. And now as we turn from the waist, we're going to turn the body in a very small twist to look back. The eyes are still looking past the side fingers. We've only moved maybe about an inch. We're dropping those shoulders down. And this twisting motion, as we learned last week, is helping to move things through the body, compress the discs in a good way, bring some spongy life back in between all of the discs of vertebrae. Let's take a couple of breaths. Stay open through your chest as you breathe. Twist back to center. and change sides. Other arm goes in front. Other arm goes to the side. Drop those shoulders down. Spaciousness through the neck. Turn your head to look past your side fingers. I'm going to move over a little bit so that I've got room to now twist towards the back. We haven't moved very much, maybe an inch. Eyes looking past the side fingers, shoulders way down away from the ears, and breathing here, feeling the twist that we've engaged in the neck and the gentle twist we've engaged in the spine. Twisting back to center. Arms can get a shake and come down. Head back to center. Excellent. Let's take it into an eagle pose. So again, maybe you're doing this seated, or if you prefer to stand, great. Either way is great. One arm across the body. The other arm way underneath the tricep. And by doing that movement, we're also stimulating a little bit the lymph nodes in the armpit area. Maybe one hand, the fingers of one hand touch the palm of the other hand with both thumbs pointed at your nose. Or maybe that doesn't work for your body today, and instead you're going to use the bottom hand to hold up the elbow of the top arm. Either way, whether you're doing it that way or full eagle arms, we're getting a stretch across the back of the shoulders, which is going to help us be open through those shoulder blades we talked about. Together, whichever version you've chosen, pull your elbows away from your chest and take a big breath, directing it wherever it's needed. Where are you feeling some stuckness or some tension? Let's get open there. For a second breath, we're going to lift the elbows to shoulder height and breathe. Bring those elbows back down and breathe again. And just before we come out of this shape, gently move your head side to side. Again, noticing the neck. Maybe some awareness of the side of the neck as you turn. Then bring the head back to center, let go of the arms and shake them out. And let's do the other side. The other arm comes over first. Opposite arm wraps underneath the tricep. Can the fingers of this hand touch the palm of the other hand on this side? With thumbs pointed at your nose. If yes, hang out here. If no, then hand grabbing elbow gives a nice tug across the body, bringing the shoulders down. Let's pull the elbows away from the body and take a big breath. Lift the elbows to shoulder height, continuing to pull them away and breathe. Bring those elbows back down and another breath here. Before we come out of the shape, moving the head side to side gently, being aware of the neck loosening any tension there. Coming back to center, releasing the arms, shake them out, and grab a sip of water. Excellent. Interlace your fingers behind you. Pull your wrists apart from each other. Straighten your elbows if you can, and start to lift your arms up and away from your body. So here we've got huge opening across the front of the chest. The shoulder blades are getting some action. They're coming a little closer together behind you. Let's take 3 big breaths. How spacious can you be in your front body? Let that go. Give yourself a hug. And breathing into your low back. So we have a gentle, easy twist here. You've laid one arm on top of the other. We're going to switch it. The other arm lays on top. Breathing into low back. And if you're not standing already, let's transition to standing now. Just move your props out of the way. Stand well, of course, like we always do. We've got the feet hip width apart. We're lifting the 5 toes of one foot, laying them down 1 toe at a time. Same thing on the other side. Lift the 5 toes, lay them down 1 toe at a time, or just do your best. Feel your feet pointing you to the earth, grounding you. And bend your knees a little. And lengthen your spine. Create that spaciousness through the vertebrae, all the way up to the crown of the head. Bring those shoulders back and down. Keep the neck gentle and the jaw relaxed. And 2 breaths here in mountain pose. And feel anything flowing through you. Perhaps breath. And let's take it into forward release. So tipping your chin toward your chest. A breath here. Release the neck a lot already. So just notice, how's the neck feeling at this point in the class? And then knowing what you know about your back, how low would you like to go? You're rolling down. Maybe your back will let you go all the way, fingers towards the floor. Or maybe your back is a little compressed today and you're better off to just work at this high part of the spine and keep it a smaller amount of the pose. You choose. Either way, everybody's breathing and everybody's using the breath to create spaciousness, especially if you find any stuck points. And if your hands touch the floor, all good to hold each hand at the opposite elbow so that the spine can dangle a little further. Maybe you haven't gone this far today for your body, that's fine too. Maybe you're hanging at an earlier stage. Let's hang out here for a couple of breaths. Breathe into that armpit area, and we've created a little length
there by dangling the arms. And see how it is to straighten one leg in this position for a full breath in and out. And bend both your knees and straighten the other leg. Take a breath. Bend both your knees. Let go of the arms so they truly are dangling fully. Contract your core here, some invitation to squeeze your midsection. That will support you as you rise slowly. Use breath to help you rise up. The head will be the last part of you to float forward. And we're going to use our hands to stimulate some of the lymph nodes today. So we get a little friction, hands rubbing against each other to warm them up. And place your hands on the side of your neck and just try again a little self-massage. What happens if you use your fingers starting more at close to the skull and moving your fingers down the sides of your neck towards your shoulders? What do you notice as you give that self-massage? Are there parts that feel good? Are there parts that feel sore? Do you feel anything at all? So just moving fingers from the close to the skull towards the shoulders. And then take the fingers behind the ears and make little circles along the skull, starting at the top part of the ears, little circles as you follow the curve of the ear. And breathe here. I love this part of my skull massaged. So maybe that's you as well. Or maybe this isn't really fitting for you. That's fine. Then let your fingers go where they will. So where else? In your neck or along your skull or in your face. What feels good today for a little self-massage? Explore your own face, your own skull. What needs a little extra healing? Sometimes the jawline loves a little gentle pressure to help it release. We talked about stress flowing through us. This self-massage can help that flow. Breathing, of course. Beautiful. Let's equalize our forward release by making a gentle fist. Punching side of the fist goes into the low back with both arms. Bring your elbows toward each other. Start by looking straight ahead at eye level, but then move your eyes and neck to look above. Open your mouth and take some big breaths. Walk the eyes back. And shake out the arms. Great. And grab a sip of water. So we also have some lymph nodes located in the groin area. So we're going to do some very familiar poses to all of you. Some runner's stretch, some bringing the knee down, some lizard.
just to help out in that area. Take a big step, front knee bent, back leg mostly straight. I'm up on the ball of the foot and back. Maybe that works for you. Maybe you find a different way. Reach the hands forward, drop the shoulders down. So we kept the spaciousness here in the neck and the shoulders. And we're bending the knee to feel a little something in the hip flexor. Let's take 3 breaths. Excellent. And taking the hands up for a moment, 1 breath here. Again, creating spaciousness in the armpits, in the arms, all the way to the fingers for a breath. And then swooping the hands down. Now, maybe it's better for you if your hands land on a chair or a piece of furniture, or maybe your hands are able to go all the way down to land beside your front foot. Adjust the distance between your feet to suit you, whatever feels right for distance between. And start to feel that opening that we're creating in the inner thighs and the groin area for 3 big breaths. We're also staying very broad across the shoulder blades. We like to protect our knees, so I'm going to fold my mat so that I've got a double mat cushion as I bring my back knee down. Point the back toes so that the top of the foot touches the mat. Scoop the front toes forward so that we're creating quite an angle, quite an opening here in the groin area. We want to feel that there's a bit of stretch happening there, and we want to direct some breath there, again, to stimulate the lymph nodes that exist in that area. So several releasing breaths. What do you notice here today? Continuing to keep the back of the shoulder blades nice and broad, wide, strong. The head is in line with the spine in this pose. So we haven't dropped the head at all. We're not cranking the eyes up. Just head gently in line with spine. Is there anything you can let go of here? The sense of anything flowing through you. Two more breaths in this position. And then we'll walk the fingers slowly back, lengthening the front leg, finding our way to hip bone equality. So both hips are the same amount forward. Deciding how much you can have a long leg, or maybe you need to keep the knee bent. We're getting a beautiful stretch through the back of the leg or the hamstring. Couple of breaths here. Good. Then come to kneeling. Bottle down. And then into squatting. So from knees to a squat. Hold here, balanced for just a couple of breaths. And then we're getting ready to contract our core. It's internal muscles, so that we can have the strength in our core and our legs to stand from this position. Great, and then it's the other leg that's going forward. Other knee forward, front knee bent, back leg mostly straight. Finding the right distance for you today between your 2 feet. Sending your front hands forward, shoulders low, and 3 big breaths. Lift the arms skyward so that we can be focused on opening through the armpits, extending through the top of the fingers. 1 breath. Then swooping the hands down either onto a chair or down beside the front foot. Adjusting the distance between your feet to suit you today. All knees are off the ground here for 3 big breaths. Maybe you're starting to feel something there in the groin or inner thighs. We're going to curl the mat so that we've got double mat to protect our knee as we bring the knee down. As we point the back toes. As we scoop the front toes forward. And allow quite an angle now that we've created in the inner thigh groin area. We're still keeping nice and broad across the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Head in line with spine. And we're just going to hang out here, breathe, and flow. What is flowing through you? Two more big breaths. Releasing tension anywhere you're finding it. And then walking these fingers back so that we're bringing hip bone equality, lengthening the leg and breathing. We mentioned earlier that our lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. So it's not like the heart doesn't have a pump that's moving like the heart does for blood. And so body movement helps to move lymph through the lymphatic system. And so we're going to add a little flow here. Right now you've got your leg lengthened. We're going to walk the fingers forward as we bend the front knee. And then walk the fingers back as we lengthen the leg. That's the move. Walk the fingers forward, bending the front knee. Walk the fingers back, lengthening the leg. And just go back and forth that way at your own pace. Make sure you're breathing through it. One more time. Walking forward. Fingers back. And we'll switch. So again, come to kneeling for a moment. And if possible, you're taking the other leg forward. So we've already stretched this side, but we want to get that flow movement here as well. So starting with hands on either side of the front foot. The front knee is bent. Going to walk the fingers back as we straighten that front leg. Walk the fingers forward as you re-bend the knee. So just change sides, follow your own pace as you breathe. Excellent. One last time. Good. Have a sip of water. We're going to be lying on our sides next for shoulder rotations. So shoulder rotations does take a bit of space. That's the only challenge. So if you're in a small area, you need to do your best to find enough room to lay on your side and have space to make a big arm circle. So just take a moment to survey where you are, figure out how that might fit. I'm going to turn my mat on a bit of a diagonal. So I've got a bit more room. Move water bottles out of the way. Good. And then we're lying on our side. So you're feeling the line on your side hip. You're propping up your head in whatever way is comfortable for you. So maybe it's propped, maybe it's lying on the bottom arm. Both your legs are extended to start so that you can tell yourself, you're going to bend the top knee and place it on the ground in front of you. So top knee is now your anchor down on the mat. Your top hand starts at your top knee and drags along the floor in a big circle in front of you. It's going to get above your head. And here we're getting some of that expansion in the armpit, helping to move some lymph from the lymph nodes in that area. The arm is going to keep going in this big circle behind you. Naturally, for most of us, the hand won't stay on the ground. That's okay. You're going to circle it around until it comes to your bum, then pause and go back the way you came in a big giant circle. So making as big an arm circle as your body allows. So starting hand on top knee, circling around the front, making a giant arm circle until the hand touches the bum, pause and go back the way you came. Now, if your shoulder is giving you trouble today or anytime, you can make this a smaller move by holding your hand on your shoulder, still making a circle with the elbow, but there's less range of motion. It's a little more constrained so that there should be less pain, less clicking perhaps if you get a lot of noise in your shoulder. Let's do one more of these. We've done about 4 on this side. Breathing through, really going slowly through the part that's tight.
Good, and then let's change sides. Lie on your other side, start with extending both your legs, get your head comfortable. Then it's the top knee that's gonna bend and lay on the ground in front of you. Start your top hand at your top knee, drag it along the floor in front in a big circle. It's gonna move above your head and then behind you as it circles around to your bum. Pause and go back the way you just came. We're doing 4 of these and starting to really pay attention now to your jaw. Where do you start to hold your breath or tighten your jaw? Can you stay loose? Can you breathe through the area that feels tight? It's about 2 circles. Let's do 2 more. Lots of expansion to that armpit area. And then really focus on the breath for this last one. Beautiful. Great. Turn over and lay on your back now. We're going to do a neck strengthener before we do our Shavasana. I'm just grabbing my timer. Lying on your back. Notice if your legs will allow you to be fully outstretched today. If that hurts your back in any way, it's okay to keep your knees up. But if you're comfortable fully outstretched, then give that a go. Let's bring the shoulders way down the body. So feel your shoulder blades coming a little closer together underneath you. Lay your arms beside you, alongside your body. Feel that you've got a little bit of weight here on the back of the head. We're going to strengthen the front of the neck. And it's a subtle move, but you'll feel it right away because we're going to use the tongue. So let out all your air. Take a big breath in. And I invite you to lift your head off the ground a small, tiny amount, 1 centimeter. Also, tilt your chin towards your chest and press your tongue onto the roof of your mouth and hold there for a count of 10. Release. Bring the head back down. Breathe normally here. So I'm breathing out as I'm counting to 10. And I can count you through it this time to help it make more sense. Let out your air again. Take a big breath in. Lift your head 1 centimeter. Tilt your chin towards your chest. Look down towards your chest as well. Press your tongue onto the roof of your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release. Let's do 1 more. Letting out all the air. Big breath in. Lift the head just a millimeter this time. Tilt the chin, look down, press the tongue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release. Excellent. Just rock your head side to side. Good. We're holding here now for a Shavasana. I'll do a guided visualization, guided meditation. You can do that from a lying down position, or if you prefer, you can be seated in a more meditative position. That's where I'll be, just so that the sound is better. My voice to the mic.
Following this, we'll still do one more pose after we've done Shavasana, so that we have an opportunity to do a lion today. So notice those shoulder blades again, really feeling that they're walking way down your back of the shoulder blades, just comfortably resting along the mat. I'm going to read you a guided meditation by Phillip Moffat, which comes from a Yoga Journal magazine. Be comfortable, either sitting or lying, with your spine long. Take 3 deep, full breaths. If it feels comfortable, you could breathe in and out through the nose. Notice the places in your body that feel pleasant. Does your belly feel relaxed? Does your head feel supported? Where in your body feels pleasant? Staying focused on the pleasant sensation. Allow the feeling to expand throughout your body. As you feel this sense of well-being spreading, reflect on the good fortune in your life. Perhaps begin with the fact that you have been born human. And you have the gifts that come with embodied consciousness, the awareness of your own experience. You have the capacity to learn. You have the ability to communicate with others. You're human and you have gifts. You need to breathe comfortably and perhaps acknowledge gratitude to those who have nurtured you. Start with Mother Earth, who gives us everything, all the food, all the water, all the materials that we need for creating where we live. Are there others who have nurtured you? Are there those who have contributed to your development, to your sense of worth? Are there people in your life who you are grateful for? Mother Earth has also nurtured creatures of all kinds. plant life, and all kinds of animal life. Are you grateful for any of the critters who cross your path? Maybe they're pets, maybe a bird that visits your feeder, maybe a tree that you see regularly out your window. Now I invite you to turn your attention to the ways in which you've known delight. Maybe delight in the body or delight in the mind, or ways that your heart has been touched. And also ways that you've touched the hearts of others. Delight and connection. As this gladdening of the mind ripens, stay connected to the feeling of well-being in your body. As your mind becomes happier, your ability to focus becomes stronger. This enhances your feeling of well-being. We'll be silent for 1 minute, just being mindful now, experiencing whatever it is that you're aware of moment by moment for 1 minute, starting now. And now, take 3 deeper breaths. Start to move and to stretch any way that feels right in your body. If you are lying down, I invite you to turn onto your side. Pause there for a moment. And then all of us together are gradually coming onto our knees, if that's possible for you. If not, this pose can also be done sitting on a chair. If you're choosing to be on your knees, I invite you to curl your toes so that you're resting your hips on your heels to some extent. Now that's a big move. It's wonderful for our toes to spread out like that and for our toes to practice taking a little bit of pressure when we sit back on them in this way. It stimulates some of the reflexology pressure points in the feet, so it's great, but it's hard. And some of us can't do it very long. And so maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't. Find your own way. If you prefer to just kneel, or if you prefer to put a bolster in between your hips and your heels, or if you just prefer to sit some other way, that's all fine. Okay, we're gonna do lion. And it's summer. I invite a bit of playful spirit into this pose. Yes, it's an important pose. Yes, it stimulates our glandular system, our lymph nodes in our neck. And it looks ridiculous. So if you feel like laughing while you do it, or eye rolling when you do it, all is invited today. Spread your fingers wide, link your thumbs, put the tips of your palms onto the ends of your knees, and push your chest through your straight arms. In a moment, we're going to let out our air. Then we're going to take a big breath in. We're going to bug out our eyes, and we're going to get the tongue all the way out of the mouth. And if you can, the top teeth and the top of the tongue make contact. So the tongue's out of the mouth, but there's a little contact between your top teeth and the top side of your tongue. Do your best. Spread those fingers. Push your chest through your straight arms. Let out your air. Take a big breath in. Bug out your eyes, stick out your tongue, and growl. Good. Shake it out, let it go. We're doing 2 more. Spread the fingers, push the chest, take a breath in. Lion. One more. Spread them, push chest, breathe in. Bug out the eyes, stick out the tongue. Yay! You did great. Sit any way that's comfortable for you now. Hopefully that brought a little silliness into your day and some good stimulation for your lymphatic system. Take your thumb into your hand. Inhale as you raise your hands up. 2 breaths, low shoulders. Hands together, 2 breaths. Hands up. And then behind the neck or in front of the neck. Full extension, breathing in. Slow, mindful, hands to heart, breathing out. And a breath at the heart. Namaste. Thank you so much. Well done.